Welcome to Mission 919, my channel devoted to narratives and information of African achievement, well-being, and prosperity. And today I'm going to talk about Edward Wilmot Blyden, born 1832, died in 1912. He was born in St. Thomas, came to the United States seeking higher education, was denied that. He emigrated to Liberia. Became the president of the College of Liberia. He was a diplomat, ran for president. I believe he was forced into exile and spent many years in Sierra Leone, the neighboring colony. Now, Liberia, he wrote a book called Christianity, Islam, and the Negro Race. And a couple things I find highly noteworthy about him. First of all, he was an ardent colonizationist. The American Colonization Society was founded in 1816 by some very elite figures in the United States. The goal of the American Colonization Society was to encourage the immigration of free blacks in the North to go back to Africa in order to, the goal was to safeguard slavery. At least that was one of the goals. It was opposed by most African Americans, but some did emigrate to Liberia, and Edward Wilmot Blyden saw Liberia as the gateway to the rebirth of the African continent, to suppressing the slave trade. Liberia has about 650 miles of coast, and according to him, it was the colony and then the country, the newly independent country in 1847, was able to suppress the slave trade during that stretch of the West African coast. And the same could be said of the British colony of Sierra Leone. So he thought that the Liberia was important for that aspect. And then also he believed that the rebirth of the African continent lay through a Christian evangelization. Now, he also recognized some of the civilizing aspects of Islam in Africa, but he seemed to have zero regard for traditional African spirituality, traditional African religion, which, I find problematic in our day, of course. But it made me think about sort of the dual nature of maybe the American Colonization Society and Liberia as the importance of Liberia as an example of at least the notion of African American self-determination. So let's say after 1847, when Liberia is granted independence, there's Haiti, which is a free republic. There's Liberia, which is a republic, and Ethiopia, which is a monarchy. So there are three independent African states, or black-led states, in the world. Of course, there are many kingdoms, but those are not recognized internationally. Kingdoms on the African continent, but they're not recognized internationally. Those three states were recognized internationally, which, I think was important. Now, if you look at today, there are 54 independent countries in Africa, all but, I guess Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, and Egypt are led by Africans, or black Africans, if you want to say, and then all of the black-led countries of the Caribbean. So, you're talking about probably over roughly 70 states, somewhere between 70 and 80 states of the 190 something in the world are now led by people of African descent. It's not a small difference. So Edward Wilmot Blyden is a very interesting figure. I feel like I need to learn more about him. I think many of us have forgotten about Liberia and the role that it played in the 19th century during the struggle to end slavery and to lay the basis for the liberation of the continent during the 20th century. So, in the name of the ancestors, in the name of the unborn, who are the same, Ashe, 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 and we'll see you soon.